Hi kiddos! Today I'd like to read you A Camping Spree with Mr. McGee by Chris Van Dusen. Early one morning at 7:03, Mr. McGee and his little dog Dee packed up the camper and hitched up the load. They hopped in their Rambler and they hit the road. They drove to the mountains far from the sea for 2 nights of camping, or possibly 3. "There's nothing like camping," said Mr. McGee. "I know you will love it. You just wait and see. The views are fantastic. There's hardly a sound. Aside from the wildlife, there's no one around. And the air is so sweet and you'll sleep like a log," said Mr. McGee to his small spotted dog. A few hours later, they took a sharp right and found a great spot to lay camp for the night. It was high on a hill with a beautiful view of Mount Adams, Mount Lincoln, and Jefferson too. But perhaps the most wonderful feature of all was the brook that ran over a steep waterfall. Dee gathered pine cones and branches and logs. McGee made a campfire and cooked some hot dogs. As the sun set behind far distant knolls, they sat roasting marshmallows over the coals. As the embers went out and they felt tired and dozy, they climbed in their bunk beds and got all comfy and cozy. But while they were falling asleep without care, along came a stumbling, bumbling bear. A kind old bear, whose sight wasn't so clear. He couldn't see far and he couldn't see near. But he could smell marshmallows, sticky and sweet. This smell made him hungry. He wanted a treat. He sniffed out the place where the marshmallows lay, but the car and the camper were in the bear's way. Yes, that didn't stop the sneaky old snitch. He simply tried squeezing right under the hitch. And as he was shimmying into the gap, he pushed up the hitch, which let go with a snap. Now that the camper and car were untied, they started to roll down the rocky hillside. The car bounced away on the old logging road while the camper was heading to where the stream flowed. It flew down the hill in a wild, bumpy ride, with Dee and McGee sleeping soundly still inside. There was snoring and snoozing, enjoying a dream, when splash went the camper right into the stream. The splash took the camper. The splash shook the camper. They bumped out of bed. "Now what in the world was that?" McGee said. And when he looked out and he saw where they were, his hair stood on end, and so did Dee's fur. They were caught in the rapids, but that wasn't all. They were headed smack dab for the waterfall. Dee and McGee both started to quiver as faster and faster they headed downriver. But just when they thought they'd fall over the edge, their camper got stuck on a rock at the ledge. So there they were stranded, McGee and his pup, on top of a waterfall 50 feet up. Meanwhile, that nearsighted bear from before was searching for one little marshmallow more, when lo and behold, as if out of a dream, he spied something sweet floating over the stream. But what the bear thought was a marshmallow treat was really the hitch, not something to eat. The bear was determined to capture his prize, so he jumped in the water right up to his thighs. He splashed through the stream to the edge of the fall, and he snatched up the trailer, hitch, camper, and all. Dee felt a tug. McGee heard a knock as the bear pulled the camper right off of the rock. He dragged them both all the way back to the bank when he realized the hitch was not sweet, but quite rank. He spit out the hitch and he left in dismay while McGee and Dee's camper again rolled away. It flew down the path with a jolt and a jar and stopped in some bushes right next to the car. Dee popped her head out. McGee looked out too. Had they really stopped rolling? Could it be true? At last things were quiet and peaceful and still. They hooked up the hitch and they drove off down that hill. And on the way home, McGee said to Dee, "That trip wasn't quite what I thought it should be." So when they got home with the sky turning red, they decided to camp in the backyard instead. The end. Okay, guys, that's it for today. Just want to tell you, I sure miss you, kiddos. Wish I could give you all a big hug. Here's my virtual hug today. Have a great day.